Welcome back, treasure hunters. Today's video is not just another coin story. This is about a dirty, damaged, forgotten the top 5 most valuable and most expensive 1-cent wheat penny old coins that is shocking the world with its unbelievable value. A coin most people would spend without thinking. Could actually make you rich beyond imagination. If you've ever wondered how a tiny old coin can turn someone into a millionaire in a single day, then you are in exactly the right place. Don't blink, because the information you're about to hear could change your life forever. Let's get started. First up, in the 1939 Lincoln wheat penny, without a mint mark, stands today as one of the most fascinating and widely discussed relics of pre-war American coinage, a piece that continues to captivate enthusiasts across the numismatic world. Even when found in dirty, dull, or heavily worn states, it commands admiration because of its age, relevance, and historical imprint. Collectors prize it not merely as a small copper disc, but as a surviving witness of an anxious global era when nations stood on the brink of tremendous change. Its persistent market demand is driven by nostalgia, scarcity in premium grades, and a universal love for the Wheatback series, making it a prized treasure in any serious collection. Struck in Philadelphia at a time when the world was inching toward World War II, the 1939 cent is part of the beloved Lincoln Wheat Penny series launched to honor President Abraham Lincoln on the centennial of his birth. This coin was minted under the shadow of economic recovery after the Great Depression, a period when every cent had meaning. Though it commemorates no singular event, its production year is historically charged, placing it as a tangible connection to the past. A small, silent narrative of an era defined by uncertainty, diplomacy, and silent preparation for global conflict. The absence of a mint mark confirms its birthplace, the primary U.S. mint in Philadelphia. The design itself is an icon, Victor David Brenner's profile of Abraham Lincoln facing right on the obverse, framed by the inscriptions "In God We Trust," "Liberty," and the date 1939. The reverse showcases the classic twin wheat ears flanking 1 cent and United States of America, with EPLURIBUSUNUM rising above. Struck in bronze, 95% copper with tin and zinc, the coin weighs 3.11 grams at 19 min diameter. When seen in uncirculated states, the raised details, bold lettering, and crisp rim form make it visually arresting and emotionally resonant to collectors of American history. Although millions were minted, time has not been kind. Finding a 1939 Philadelphia wheat penny in an uncirculated or near-mint state is markedly rare. Circulation wear, corrosion, cleaning damage, and storage neglect have swallowed pristine survivors. Additionally, subtle varieties such as minor RPM-style hub irregularities and striking weakness intrigue experts who chase even minor departures from standard die work. In dirty and damaged condition, its worth is modest, yet the pathway from low-grade survivor to gem-grade rarity defines this coin. Desirability, scarcity in superb condition drives the chase. In the modern collector market, top-tier examples of the 1939 no-mint wheat penny, especially in certified MS65 to MS67 red RD categories or with recognized varieties, can realistically command between $1,000 and $8,000 at auction or private sale. The combination of pre-war resonance, iconic design, visual appeal in red-bronze luster, and the emotional familiarity of the wheat reverse formula all contribute to upward value pressure year after year. This is a coin whose price appreciation is driven not by hype, but by historical relevance and shrinking supply of premium survivors. For collectors, success begins with disciplined strategy. Prioritize high-grade certified examples from trusted grading houses, study the dies for subtle known varieties, and buy only from reputable dealers, auction houses, or vetted marketplaces. Handle with gloves or original holders to prevent new surface harm. Dirty, corroded, or damaged coins can be kept for study, but the investment edge and long-term prestige lie in clean, original, fully red-toned specimens stored in inert, climate-safe protective holders. Engagement with auction archives and collector communities sharpens eye and timing. What makes the 1939 no-mint Lincoln wheat penny so satisfying to pursue is the way it fuses artistry, narrative, and scarcity into one small round object. It is a coin that bridges personal memory and national timeline, a relic passed hand-to-hand through the late Depression into the wartime generation. To own one in high grade is to own refined time history suspended in copper, permanently preserved in your tray or vault. These legendary wheat pennies continue to captivate coin hunters, not only because of their metal content or age, but because of the incredible stories attached to their survival. Many of these record-breaking pieces were rescued from circulation by chance, found in drawers, jars, pocket change, or inherited from old family boxes, proving that even in damaged, worn, or dirt-covered condition, the right wheat penny can hold staggering value. Their journey from everyday usage to elite auction tables is what makes them so thrilling to study and collect. We're going to break down exactly why certain 1-cent pennies are considered numismatic gold mines, looking at special mint marks, rare production years, dramatic striking errors, and the precise grade conditions that transform these coins from pocket change into investment-class artifacts. Whether it is a double-die rarity, a low mintage key date, or a century-old survivor preserved in mint brilliance, each coin on this list reflects a powerful combination of rarity, demand, and historical charm. So get ready, because this countdown isn't just about numbers and prices, it's about uncovering the hidden fortune inside one of the most familiar coins in American history. If you think a penny can never be life-changing, this video will prove otherwise. Make sure to watch until the final example, because the most unimaginable wheat penny values are often the ones no one sees coming. This is not just another bronze cent, it is a distilled fragment of American resilience, a miniature monument to design tradition, and a steadily appreciating numismatic asset. Whether studied in its worn and dirty state or pursued in blazing mint condition, the 1939 Philadelphia wheat penny remains a rewarding and future-sound acquisition. For the devoted numismatist, it is both an emotional keepsake and a smart financial placement, a coin that continues to justify its fame among the most respected classics in United States coinage. Next up, in the 1940 Lincoln wheat penny with no mint mark, a coin that continues to captivate enthusiasts even when found in very dirty, heavily damaged, and unattractive circulation-worn condition. Despite its humble appearance, this cent occupies a prized status in the collecting world, admired not just for what it is physically, but for what it represents historically and culturally. As numismatic demand grows for earlier wheat cents, even rough survivors of the 1940 issue are actively hunted by collectors, preserved as enduring artifacts of a nation on the edge of global transformation. Whether embedded in history, coated in decades of grime, or scarred by commerce, the 1940 no-mint mark penny remains a high-appeal collectible with a fan base across the hobby. The 1940 Lincoln no-mint wheat cent was produced at the Philadelphia Mint during a tense pre-World War II climate, when the United States was still recovering from the Great Depression and standing uncertainly on the brink of international conflict. Designed as part of the long-running wheat cent series introduced in 1909 under Victor David Brenner, this copper coin served as a circulating witness to the final calm before war completely reshaped American industry and economy. It stands as a small but powerful tangible connection to the past, linking modern collectors to the realities of 1940-era America, a society preparing economically, socially, and psychologically for an era of upheaval. On its obverse, the coin bears the enduring bust of Abraham Lincoln facing right, accompanied by the inscriptions "Liberty, in God we trust," and the date 1940 without any secondary mint letter beneath proof of Philadelphia origin. The reverse continues the beloved two wheat stalks motif encircling the denomination 1 cent and the national identity phrase United States of America, with EPLURIBUSUNUM positioned above. Struck in 95% copper with a weight of about 3.11 grams, this coin's aesthetic strength is especially admired in crisp grades, but remains recognizable and iconic even when damaged, darkened, or scratched from decades of contact. Its design still embodies patriotism, agricultural heritage, and national resilience. The 1940 Philadelphia cent had a very high original mintage. Time has drastically reduced the population of appealing examples. Most surviving coins are circulated, dirty, pitted, corroded, or bent, and thus extremely difficult to locate in fully original, sharply struck, and free from damage form. Deep color staining, metal decomposition, and surface disruption are common, making high-grade uncirculated examples truly scarce and sharply desirable. The tension between high issue volume and low surviving eye appeal is exactly what pushes the cleanest coins to the top of the want lists. In today's active market, a problem-free, certified, high-grade, uncirculated 1940 no-mint mark wheat cent, especially with flashy luster, stable surfaces, or a recognized variety, can command realistic premiums from roughly $1,000 up to $8,000 depending on condition tiers, eye appeal, strike quality, and auction competition. Those with die doubling or dramatic striking anomalies push further. Even though a dirty, heavily damaged, or corroded example carries only nominal face value plus worth, the market premium for superior survivors is steady because the combination of history, visual purity, and collector insistence keeps demand alive and steadily rising. Serious collectors are consistently advised to prioritize certified examples graded by PCGS or NGC, seek out coins with original surfaces rather than cleaned ones, and examine for varieties such as doubled dies or repunched mint marks from related years that can produce exponential value. Smart acquisition means purchasing from documented dealers, reputable auctions, or vetted private sellers, then ensuring safe storage in archival plastic holders or slabs to prevent new environmental destruction. Avoid touching copper coins with bare hands and always consult active collector communities to stay ahead of price movements, trend cycles, and population reports. The 1940 no mint mark wheat cent is not just a coin, it is an emotional anchor to America's pre-war mechanism, a story-carrying survivor of a fragile moment in national history. The design purity, the wartime adjacency, and the impossibility of manufacturing more of them all feed into its reputation as a prized treasure. Each time a premium-grade example crosses the marketplace, the attendance of competitive bidders reaffirms that this cent holds a permanent and magnetic place in the numismatic world psyche. The 1940 no-mint wheat cent its magnetic draw is not merely mathematics of condition and grade, but the emotional pull of pre-war circulation metal. Every such penny, whether darkened, chipped, porous, or warped, quite literally traded hands in a nation debating neutrality, rationing, and future sacrifice. Collectors do not just buy a denomination, they buy the psychology of that moment frozen in metal. Even badly abused examples carry that time capsule aura, which is why so many hobbyists refuse to dismiss the coin simply because its surfaces have been humbled by life. 10 varieties, die states, and specialist hunting. Although the base type is familiar, specialists crave the micro-subtleties. Early V's late die states, shadow doubling die wear in the motto, and interior cracks or chips that transform a generic 1940 into a variety class trophy. The no-mint mark Philadelphia strike is famous for showing progressive die erosion on later presses, creating texture differences that variety hunters catalog relentlessly. These micro-diagnostics, invisible to the casual eye, fuel a second market inside the market, where knowledge rather than luck determines who wins the prize. In a world where gold and silver often dominate hard asset talk, high-end certified copper, especially pre-war wheat cents, has become a stealth investment class. As more of the cleanest survivors get sealed into permanent plastic and removed from circulation forever, supply actively shrinks while demand is expanding through YouTube, social media, and auction publicity. That compression, where knowledgeable demand meets irreversible depletion, is exactly the recipe that has historically rewarded patient coin investors who recognize rarity before the broader public does. The 1940 cent refuses to fade from the spotlight is the cultural permanence of Abraham Lincoln as an American icon. His image has outlived wars, recessions, mint reforms, design replacements, and entire political eras, and yet the wheat cent portrait remains the most romanticized rendering among collectors. Owning a 1940 no-mint coin is not just owning copper. It is owning the longest-running presidential effigy in U.S. coinage history in its most beloved vintage form, a combination that continuously seeds both nostalgia and prestige value. Many seasoned collectors emphasize that the best time to secure a high-grade, untouched, certified 1940 Philadelphia wheat cent is before the hobby fully reprices the coin for its declining availability in premium condition. Every year more raw coins are cleaned, more surfaces are ruined, more estates are broken up, and more premium pieces disappear into long-term private vaults. Once the music stops on available quality, today's $1,000.8000 certified range will likely become tomorrow's baseline, leaving latecomers priced out of the most impressive examples, a pattern already seen across multiple vintage U.S. series. The 1940 Lincoln wheat penny with no mint mark is a spectacular fusion of historic weight, aesthetic legacy, collectible scarcity, and long-term value strength, making it one of the most spiritually rewarding wheat cents to pursue. While dirty and damaged specimens remain common and inexpensive, the cleanest uncirculated survivors build impressive valuations, and their slow attrition makes them ever more compelling as long-term numismatic investments. For the dedicated collector, adding a superior 1940 cent is not merely acquiring copper, it is preserving a chapter of American endurance for generations ahead. Next up in the 1942 United States Lincoln wheat penny, without a mint mark, stands out as a fascinating and deeply cherished treasure. Even when discovered in a very dirty and heavily damaged state, this coin ignites excitement among collectors because of its age, its unbroken link to World War II America, and its enduring presence in the wheat cent legacy. It is more than copper, it is a survival relic, still circulating as a tangible echo of a pivotal national moment. The coin's stamina in the collector's market, combined with strong demand for pre-war and wartime era cents, continues to magnetize enthusiasts and maintain its reputation as a prized collectible. In 1942, at the Philadelphia Mint, this no-mint mark wheat penny was produced at the height of wartime preparation, when the United States shifted manufacturing capacity toward military needs. Lincoln cents occupied daily commerce during rationing, enlistment surges, and economic transformation. Though not directly commemorative, the coin is historically nested in one of the most consequential decades in U.S. history, becoming an unconscious witness to the era when every cent mattered. Its copper content is also historically important. Just 1 year later, the U.S. government withdrew copper for ammunition and produced steel cents instead, making 1942 the final peacetime copper issue before total wartime metal diversion. The obverse presents Victor David Brenner's enduring portrait of Abraham Lincoln, flanked by the familiar Liberty and In God We Trust, with the date 1942 resting to the right, notably without any mint mark, confirming Philadelphia origin. The reverse retains the classical agricultural symbolism of two curved wheat heads surrounding 1 cent and United States of America, crowned by EPLURIBUSUNUM. In high-grade condition, the coin's copper luster glows with a warm, reddish-brown brilliance that has long seduced connoisseurs. Special varieties like minor die cracks, rim cuds, or doubled impressions augment desirability dramatically among variety hunters. The 1942 Philadelphia wheat cent had a large mintage. Surviving examples in crisply struck, uncirculated, unworn, and original luster are notably scarcer today than commonly believed, especially given how many were melted, damaged, corroded, abrasively cleaned, or lost. Early WWII circulation was extremely aggressive, meaning most survivors exhibit heavy wear. This scarcity of premium condition examples is exactly what thrusts exceptional survivors into the conversation of big-ticket coins. A heavily corroded or dirty example exists merely as a historic remnant, but a sharply preserved and original example can cross into elite territory. In the modern marketplace, carefully graded and certified high-end 1942 no-mint mark wheat cents can demand from roughly $1,000 to as high as $8,000 when exceptional eye appeal, flawless surfaces, or rare die varieties are present. These heightened values reflect the confluence of historical character, late copper status, classical design, and collector psychology favoring pre-steel issues. Even though a very dirty or damaged coin holds only modest value, pristine or rare variety counterparts have been steadily appreciating at major auction houses, proving that not all common date cents are equal when perfection and pedigree are involved. Collectors chase this coin not just for catalog logic but for narrative gravity. This was Lincoln on the eve of a global war. To hold this cent is to grip a silent witness that passed through the hands of 1940s civilians protesting, rationing, enlisting, and rebuilding. That romantic component is unpriceable in the psychology of serious numismatics. The coin embodies stability during instability, and investors recognize that emotional heritage can amplify financial bids when two collectors refuse to let go at auction. For those pursuing this piece with investment discipline, the highest priority should be acquiring unquestionably original, uncleaned, certified, and sharply struck examples, preferably authenticated by PCGS or NGC. Special attention should be given to double-die varieties, rim anomalies, and exceptional color preservation. Handle raw coins by the edges only, store in inert archival holders, and avoid amateur cleaning, which instantly destroys market credibility. Participation in respected auctions, leading forums, and dealer networks increases the chance of identifying sleepers before they escalate in price. The 1942 no-mint mark Lincoln wheat cent is its demonstrated stability across changing market cycles. Even when other collectibles fluctuate with economic conditions, pre-war and wartime U.S. cents consistently draw active bidding, especially when exceptional condition intersects with certified originality. The fact that high-grade coins from this exact year continue to command four-figure results shows that demand is not driven by hype, but by durable collecting fundamentals: narrative, nostalgia, and finite supply. As more coins become locked away in private long-term holdings, competition for the few that appear on the market is only expected to intensify. Beyond numismatic pricing charts, the coin holds profound symbolic resonance in the American imagination. The Lincoln portrait itself evokes justice, unity, and endurance, values that resurfaced nationally during the early 1940s. Meanwhile, the wheat design reflects agricultural strength and economic survival, grounding the coin as a testament to an America preparing for unavoidable global conflict. Owning a 1942 wheat cent, especially one with unblemished surfaces or rare die characteristics, is like possessing a preserved political and cultural sentence pressed into copper. It speaks silently but with unquestioned historical authority. 1942 wheat penny is not merely another catalog listing but a calibration coin, a benchmark used to judge discipline, taste, and seriousness in building an American copper portfolio. Those who chase this year in superior grades demonstrate a commitment to depth rather than novelty, to archival preservation instead of casual accumulation. It has become one of those instructive coins that teaches patience, teaches condition awareness, teaches auction literacy, and teaches market timing. In this sense, its legacy stretches beyond price alone. It molds collectors as much as it rewards them. The 1942 no-mint mark Lincoln Wheat Penny is a riveting fusion of wartime timeline, classical artistry, survival rarity, and collector magnetism, even when encountered in a grimy or battered state. Its identity as the final copper wartime prelude coin, its longevity in cultural memory, and its proven auction performance validate it as a prized treasure, an enduringly wise addition to advanced collections. For numismatists who value coins that carry history in their metal, this wheat cent stands as a resonant, appreciating, and emotionally potent connection to the American past. Next up in the United States, 1945 Lincoln Wheat Penny, without a mint mark, stands as one of the most fascinating and hotly discussed issues of the mid-20th century. Even when found in very dirty and severely damaged circulation-worn condition, it remains a coin that sparks conversation, inspires collector ambition, and reflects a chapter of American coinage that enthusiasts chase with passion. Its reputation as a prized treasure is not due to common examples, but to the rare surviving high-grade certified survivors and elusive error varieties that can elevate its worth dramatically in today's active market. Long after its final strike left the presses of the Philadelphia Mint, this wartime cent still commands attention from advanced collectors who recognize both its narrative and its investment appeal. The 1945 wheat cent was struck in the closing year of World War II, at a moment when the United States was transitioning from the bloodiest conflict in modern history into peacetime reconstruction. Produced in Philadelphia without a mint mark, this coin was part of a massive national effort to conserve industrial metals and stabilize the post-war economy. Although not a commemorative coin in the formal sense, it is an unintentional wartime relic, a tangible connection to the past, reflecting the frugality, urgency, and national unity of the era. Every surviving piece, however worn or battered today, once moved through the hands of a population buying food with ration books and awaiting returning soldiers. The 1945 no mint mark issue carries Victor David Brenner's iconic portrait of President Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, with "Liberty in God We Trust," and the 1945 date crisply arranged around his profile. The reverse continues the beloved twin wheat ear motif, framing the denomination 1 cent and United States of America, with the motto EPLURIBUS UNUM above. Struck in a copper-based alloy during the wartime economy, it weighs approximately 3.11 grams and measures 19 in diameter. In fully preserved, untoned, high-grade surfaces, the sharp hairlines on Lincoln's portrait and the wheat stalk texture leap out with visual clarity, qualities that transform a common coin type into a museum-worthy showpiece when found in exceptional state. The 1945 p-cent had a huge mintage overall. Scarcity emerges not from quantity but from condition and variety. Pristine uncirculated survivors with blazing original luster are distinctly hard to locate because the coin circulated aggressively through wartime and post-war decades. Certified examples in MS-67 or MS-68 red are particularly elusive and command intense bidding wars when offered. Rarer still are dramatic minting errors, such as double die varieties, off-center strikes, or broad-struck pieces, that escaped quality control at a time when production speed took precedence over perfection. By contrast, dirty, corroded, scratched, or heavily damaged examples, though historically interesting, do not command serious premiums and are typically valued as fillers only. In today's active coin market, the price ceiling belongs to spectacular survivors. A sharply preserved, fully read, certified uncirculated 1945 with no mint mark in lofty grades, or strongly defined double die variety, can bring figures in the region of $1,000 to $8,000, depending on eye appeal, pedigree, and auction competition. Error specimens with dramatic visual impact can also soar within or beyond that range when chased by specialists. Meanwhile, ordinary circulated or heavily damaged coins without errors rarely exceed nominal collector value, since their appeal rests more in historical narrative than in monetary gain. For collectors pursuing this date seriously, the wisest strategy is selectivity. Prioritize certified high-grade pieces from reputable grading services, robust strike quality, and full red surfaces when possible. Study known error varieties and confirm authenticity before investing, as market premiums hinge on precision identification. Always handle premium coins by the edge only, store in archival safe holders to prevent tunning or environmental harm, and follow market trend discussions through collector forums, fixed price platforms, and major auctions to anticipate value movements. Patience and knowledge are the forces that separate lucky finds from strategic acquisitions. The 1945 numismatic wheat penny do not command financial premiums. They still hold undeniable historical weight. Every battered coin once circulated through bakery counters, industrial payrolls, tobacco stores, and war bond donation drives. The heavy wear and brutal handling etched into their surfaces are physical testimonies of 1940s American life under resource pressure, ration books, and patriotic discipline. In that sense, even the lowest grade eyesore examples function as handheld micro-artifacts, relics of survival economy, carrying narrative rather than monetary worth. For many new collectors, inexpensive damaged coins serve as gateway artifacts into numismatics, igniting curiosity and pulling them further into high-grade collecting later. The 1945 Philadelphia issue is emotionally charged by its timing. It is a coin from the last full year of history's deadliest war, issued while American factories were operating at maximum strain, families were riding to the front, and the nation was holding its breath for surrender announcements. That alone gives it a cultural gravitas that 1930s, 1950s, and late wheat dates do not share in equal measure. Collectors do not merely collect this coin for its copper, they collect a time-stamped piece of American resilience. That weight of context is exactly why pristine high-condition survivors from this specific wartime year take on a mystique absent from common later-date wheat cents that lack the same emotional and geopolitical ancho. The 1945 wheat penny occupies a unique place in the learning curve of collectors, common enough to be found, but elite enough to produce tiered markets of value. Most collectors first encounter it in junk boxes or in corroded piles, unaware that in higher states of preservation this same date can transform into an investment piece rivaling premium 19th century copper. That dual identity, simultaneously accessible and aspirational, is exactly what sustains its market vitality. It introduces newcomers to the concept of grading, lures specialists into hunting for gem-red examples, and continues to anchor serious portfolios among advanced numismatists who understand that the right wartime penny in the right grade can be both a historical trophy and a safe store of value in the collectible market. One of the strongest forces separating ordinary 1945 wheat pennies from elite-level examples is third-party certification. When coins are verified by major grading authorities like PCGS or NGC, they move from the shadowy world of raw guesswork into a documented, trade-ready category. 1945 numismatic Lincoln cent, graded MS67RD, or above instantly becomes a commodity of trust rather than speculation. The plastic slab is not just housing. It is a transfusion of credibility, liquidity, and global market acceptance. Collectors understand that a slabbed wartime cent is insulated from disputes, shielded from accidental handling, and forever anchored to a respected grade that future buyers will accept without debate. There is a peculiar psychological magnetism in hunting rare condition coins from otherwise common years. The 1945 wheat penny illustrates this perfectly. Millions exist, yet only a microscopic handful survive with untouched brilliance, deep red luster, sharp strike, and zero carbon spotting. This contrast produces what numismatists call condition rarity, the thrill of separating the miracle survivors from the vast ocean of worn-out copper. Collectors often report a stronger emotional charge when securing a top-grade wartime common-date coin than when buying a scarce-date coin in mediocre condition. The 1945 penny rewards the eye of discernment rather than the mere ability to acquire what few exist. The 1945 wheat penny without a mint mark has earned a permanent generational seat in the wheat cent hierarchy. It is chronologically central, historically charged, design consistent, and endlessly collectible across budget ranges, from pocket change curiosities to four-figure trophies in auction glass. It bridges beginner and expert, narrative and investment, history and aesthetics. Its presence in virtually every serious Lincoln cent set is not incidental, it is architectural. The coin is a keystone specimen that both completes collections and teaches collectors why U.S. cents are more than copper, they are compact archives of American time. The sustained interest in wartime coinage, combined with a finite supply of pristine survivors, gives the 1945 P wheat cent a long-term position in the portfolios of serious collectors. Its dual identity, as both a routine product of necessity and a selective source of elite rarities, ensures that demand does not evaporate. As more hobbyists graduate from casual collecting into certification-grade pursuit, the competition for superior specimens is likely to grow, bolstering both appreciation and prestige. The 1945 Nomismatic Lincoln wheat penny is more than a century-old copper disc. It is a tangible relic of America's wartime closing chapter, an artistic icon of Brenner's enduring design, and a selective reservoir of high-end rarity. The contrast between grimy, damaged circulation-worn pieces and the breathtaking survivors locked in slabs reveals why the best of these coins are revered as prized treasures with lasting investment credibility. For any numismatist seeking a coin that blends narrative, scarcity, and upward market momentum, the 1945 wheat cent remains a worthy and rewarding pursuit in collections around the world.